up, unit? Hopefully you guys are kicking this Wednesday's ass already. This is an impromptu crown jewel preview video for tomorrow's big event in Saudi Arabia. Tomorrow afternoon. That's right, it is slated for 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you have one of those little 9 to 5 jobs, you got a little bit of a conundrum. Do you call out, sacrifice some cash, or do you just catch it later? Is this event worth missing work for? Probably not. Creatively, you're not going to miss too much, right? Nothing's really going to change. But I understand if you have a conundrum, right? You always like to catch this kind of stuff live because even though creatively nothing's going to change, anything can happen live. So you always like to watch these type of events as they're unfolding. You don't want to watch it hours later when, the cat's out of the bag. So I understand if you got a conundrum, but it's a conundrum nonetheless because this is slap dab in the middle of the afternoon. Again, 2 p.m. Eastern time. There's 9 announced matches. And you got a smorgasbord. You got everything from Falls Count Anywhere to Battle Royals to Tag Team Turmoils to weird impromptu matches with superstars outside of pro wrestling. You have Survivor Series style matches. You got it all in this, man. And I'm not quite sure that's a good thing. But that's why we go over it in the preview style format. We're going to go top to bottom. Match 1 to match 9. And they like to put around 10 matches on these cards, so you have one extra match, if they choose to throw onto this thing. I first want to say, history will be made tomorrow afternoon. WWE announced yesterday, or last night, I should say, that Natty versus Lacey Evans will take place tomorrow afternoon, making it the history-breaking first ever women's match in Saudi Arabia. They tried to do this last time. They just couldn't meet the deadline. They tried to do it with Alexa Bliss and Natty last time. This time they were able to do it. Natty versus Lacey Evans will be happening. I'm surprised it wasn't Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. The way that Vince pushes Charlotte Flair and the way he had no choice but to push Becky. But one has to believe, did Vince just pick 2 blondes out of a hat? Did he just throw all the blonde names into a hat and he just picked 2, right? He looked the other way, picked, Natty, Lacey. Was Alexa Bliss not available for this event? Did Carmella have a prior engagement with the 24/7 championship? Who knows? But he tried to get some blondes in there last time, and this time he got Lacey Evans and Natty. Now, I understand Natty, right? She's the workhorse. She's the one that you can trust to go in there and be a bit of a general for the ladies. So I understand that. Lacey Evans, that's a little bit of a wild card. Is it because they've been working together recently? And Vince really just trusts that? I don't know. I have my reservations. This is the first showcase to the world. Or to fucking the Saudi Arabia world especially, I should say. Of who the women are in WWE. And that's the best you have to offer, Natty and Lacey Evans. Beggars can't be choosers, right? It's a history-breaking moment. I just questioned Alexa and Natty last time, and I questioned Lacey and Natty this time. I just feel if you're trying to showcase women talent here in America in WWE, you got no better than Lacey Evans? I question that. But I can't take away their moment. This is a huge history-breaking moment, again, as I said. Lacey Evans did take to Twitter and she commented. Lacey said, "I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do the things I've done in WWE. Tomorrow I get to show my little girl that hard work can bring you to history-making heights. I'm ready for this." Natty then commented as well. Natty said, "The world will be watching. I am so incredibly proud to represent our women's division tomorrow night at Crown Jewel. It's time to bring your best, Lacey." So, they're both ready. You could tell they're excited, and the nerves will probably be there as well, as this is such a history-breaking moment. One that's long overdue, no doubt. Again, I just have my reservations of could we have done this a little better? Could we have put... I digress. I don't want to take a big moment away. Great for Lacey. Great for fucking Natty. Surprised he didn't put Charlotte Flair. Maybe they knew there'd be just immense backlash. Like, dude, enough. She's got 106 championships. She's in every fucking main event. She even had to wiggle her way into Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. What more do you want this girl to do? Do you want her to become president of the fucking world? So maybe that's why. Maybe they... I don't know, man. I don't want to keep dragging it out. This is supposed to be a good moment. I will keep it as such. It's my job to do on these videos and on this channel to just dissect situations. This is a huge situation. I just want to look at it from all angles in the decision-making process that goes into it. That's my job here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing you guys justice, and I wouldn't be doing myself any good. If that's the case, if I was just going to come out here and run down the card and give you a bunch of nonsensical bullshit, then I'm no better than any other dipshit YouTuber out there in the community. No, my standards are much higher than that, and I want to look at every angle differently and dissect it more. You know? I won't change. So I will be looking at that match in many different ways, but that is such a cool moment, man. Natty and Lacey Evans will have, when they break down the barrier, once again, the world, not just Saudi Arabia, the world moves in a right direction and takes another step further in the right direction. And that's really cool to see. When you can take a step back and see the world evolving in the right way, that's so cool. You know what I mean? That really is badass. So anyway, that is official, guys. The women will have their first ever match in Saudi Arabia. I expect them to be fully clothed, but Natty always is anyway with her outfit. Right? She's always top to bottom fully clothed. Fully clothed. And then you have Lacey Evans. They'll probably throw some fucking leggings on her, and I don't know, she'll still look sexy as fuck. Summer Rae always does. Or I'm sorry, Lacey Evans. It's all the fucking same thing. Summer Rae, Lacey Evans, the fuck. Moving on with the card, there's 8 other matches. Let's start at the very fucking top with some of the big boys. This is going to be Seth Rollins versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship. Falls count anywhere. WWE has backed themselves into a corner and into a pickle yet again with this match, just like they did at Hell in a Cell. Because just like Hell in a Cell, it makes 0 sense to put the title on Bray Wyatt. 0 sense. His character doesn't need it, and he's fresh back from fucking his hiatus with the former Bray Wyatt character. This is a fresh Fiend character. You just feed him people for a good solid year before you even talk about championships. Why, at Hell in a Cell, thrust him into that storyline when no good was going to come out of it? You knew you weren't going to give him the championship. The only thing we could have prayed for at that point and begged for is that you didn't ruin Bray Wyatt. So what do they do at Hell in a Cell? They ruin Bray Wyatt. They have Seth Rollins beat him down so bad that the referee is fearful of how badly down and out Bray Wyatt was. And that's supposed to be the monster Fiend? Beaten so bad that the ref has to call the match? And then after the bell rings, Wyatt gets up and puts the mandible claw on Rollins like he's a badass. No, you're just dumb as fuck that you did it after the bell rang. So not only did they ruin him in that aspect, they also made him look like a fucking joke and a clown. So what do? They double down. They keep this thing going another 4 weeks to Crown Jewel. We're in the same predicament. Bray Wyatt cannot get the champion, or shouldn't. Because A, the character doesn't need it, and B, we shouldn't even be talking about Bray Wyatt with the championship. So if that's the case, why put him with Rollins again when you know you're not going to give him the championship? So again, we're in the same situation as Hell in a Cell. We have to now pray and beg that they don't ruin Bray Wyatt further. But judging by what they did at Hell in a Cell, there's no indication that tomorrow afternoon is going to be any different. That's what I mean about they backed him into a corner and they're in a pickle now. Now, you have no choice but to theoretically put the title on Bray Wyatt to make him look strong again. But they're not going to do that, so how does this end? Another schmaz where Seth Rollins somehow wins, but when the match is over, Bray Wyatt gets the last laugh. He appears and puts the mandible claw on Seth Rollins or Sister Abigail a couple of times. So when it's all said and done, Rollins is down on his back looking up at the lights, and Wyatt looks strong, but Wyatt just lost again. So you're not fooling me. I'm not going to look at this dude as strong just because after the match, he decided to attack him. No, I made the analogy in yesterday's video. If the Green Bay Packers lost their matchup on Sunday night with the Kansas City Chiefs, if they lost that football game, they wouldn't then go into the locker room afterwards and pick a fight and start beating the shit out of them just so they can win some fights. Right? Oh, we lost the football game, but we won afterwards. They were all on the fucking locker room ground, and we were standing tall. It doesn't matter. You lost the football game. You can't go into the locker room afterwards and start challenging the Twister and Yahtzee and Monopoly. Doesn't matter if you win any of that. Doesn't matter if you beat the shit out of them in the locker room afterwards. You lost the football game. You lost the match. Bottom line. Doesn't matter what you do after. And that's what they're going to do tomorrow. I'm telling you guys. Unless they don't make a quick audible, speaking of NFL and football, if they don't make an audible like a quarterback would do, Vince McMahon needs to make an audible. Don't give us the same bullshit. What you guys don't know is Seth Rollins and The Fiend Bray Wyatt have been going around the country in dark matches. And they've been having matches, steel cage matches, regulation matches, and Bray Wyatt has been losing. And then after the match, Bray Wyatt pops up, the lights go out, and he puts Rollins into the mandible claw. So they've already been doing this after Hell in a Cell multiple times. We have confirmed reports just recently of Cleveland last Monday and this past Monday in St. Louis. The same exact match, same exact outcome. So I'm telling you guys, don't be shocked if we have another stupid finish tomorrow afternoon where Rollins walks away with the title, but Bray Wyatt's able to get the upper hand after the match and look really strong. I'm not buying this shit, man. They made Bray Wyatt, or they put him into a bad situation these past several months, and I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from it. I don't. They're taking something that was gold, something that captivated the wrestling world, and they're turning it into shit instantly. And now they're just dragging it along. It's almost like Vince saw the Fiend Bray Wyatt character as something useful and valuable for only a couple of months and only to push a Seth Rollins agenda. So that's my take on it. That's my analysis on this match, guys. I don't like this at all. I don't think this should be happening. I didn't think it should be happening at Hell in a Cell. Bray Wyatt's character doesn't need the championship, nor should he be getting it, but there's no choice but to put it on him, just like I said at Hell in a Cell. They didn't, and in fact, in doing such, they actually made Bray Wyatt look weak and dumb as fuck. I am definitely, absolutely feeling the same things from Hell in a Cell. I'm dreading that that's going to happen tomorrow night. That not only is Bray Wyatt going to look weak, he is going to look dumb as fuck. I lost, but I beat you up afterwards. That's like Aaron Rodgers saying, I just lost the football game, but I beat you in Madden. I beat you in the video game. It doesn't matter. They're scheduling for the second pay-per-view in a row Bray Wyatt in a championship match, and if he does not walk away in the second advertised championship match on pay-per-view, if he doesn't walk away with the title, you are lessening the value of this dude already. That is criminal. WWE Championship match. This is going to be Brock Lesnar taking on Cain Velasquez. How the fuck does Cain Velasquez just walk into WWE a few weeks ago, and boom, he's your number one contender for a championship? It's all about those dollars, right? Big match feel, big money value. I understand. It's big business. Cain Velasquez took out Brock Lesnar in the UFC years ago, in reality. And now Vince is trying to cash in on that UFC game, UFC nostalgia, because this was fucking 10 years ago. A lot of people don't even fucking remember this shit or care about it. But Vince will try to cash in on that UFC game and that UFC nostalgia. He will do it. And I'm sure Fox is right behind him going, pushing him along. Yeah, Vince, get Cain Velasquez. Get Tyson Fury while you're at it. Try to get Mike Tyson out of retirement. I don't like the fact that Cain Velasquez just became number one contender, poof, just by showing up. I don't like that, but I understand the business behind it. I see behind the smoke and mirrors, man. I see what lies beneath the surface. I don't understand what they're going to do in there together. They cannot make this more than 2 minutes. Cain Velasquez is so fucking green, he might as well be part of the Green Bay Packers. So he can't go more than 2 fucking minutes with Brock and Brock doesn't like going more than 2 minutes because he blows the fuck up. So they're going to have to go in there and just beat the shit out of each other for a few minutes. That's the only way I like this, right? If they literally make this UFC style and Brock and Cain go into a corner away from Vince McMahon and say, listen, let's just beat the shit out of one another. You know what I mean? And they have a little pack and they just go out there and throw haymakers. Otherwise, I don't know what we're expecting from Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar in a WWE ring. Let's be honest here. So I have my reservations. This is a championship match. One of their many main events tomorrow. Just like the next match I'm going to talk about, Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury. Again, on paper or thinking about it, you're thinking Brock and Cain, wow, there's some intrigue. Braun and Tyson Fury, on paper, wow, there's some intrigue. But in a WWE ring, just like Brock and Cain Velasquez, what is Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury going to do? I talk about Cain Velasquez being green as a Green Bay Packer, but the bottom line is at least he's had wrestling training the past several months and even more than a year. Tyson Fury? Dude, come on. There's no wrestling background at all with this dude as far as WWE style or in that ring. So this guy has to now go in there and do what with Braun? This can't be more than a couple of minutes or this is going to be embarrassing, worse than a normal Monday Night Raw show. That's Braun Strowman, Tyson Fury. Those are their big matches they're hyping up. Then you go into Team Hogan versus Team Flair. This is a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match. But instead of talking about one of your big pay-per-views of the year, Survivor Series, we're talking about Crown Frickin' Jewel. Roman Reigns, Ricochet, Rusev, Ali, and Shorty G. What? Chad Gable? Nah, Shorty Gable. No, it's not even Shorty Gable. It's Shorty G. The guy from Space Jam. That's right, that's him. Or your local fucking Project basketball court. They're having a pickup game, and there's Shorty G. He's got his Princeton haircut, and he's got his little fucking Space Jam outfit on. They're taking on Team Flair, Randy Orton, King Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Can you tell there's a brand split? Can you tell Raw is its own identity and SmackDown is its own identity? The main event, you got Seth Rollins from Raw versus Bray Wyatt from SmackDown. In this match, you got Team Hogan and Team Flair. Both teams are a mishmash of SmackDown and Raw talent. Last I checked, Roman Reigns and Shorty G and Shinsuke, they're all on SmackDown. And you got Ricochet, Rusev, guys like that, they're over on Raw. What is this 5-on-5 match doing? Nothing but blurring the lines of Raw and SmackDown. It's confusing the fuck out of not only the casual fans, but even the diehard fans. Nobody still fucking knows who's on what brand. It's pointless. BC, it'll be fine. These were kind of advertised just before or thought about just before the draft. Well, then you're proving my point. This company doesn't think ahead at all. It's never 2 or 3 steps ahead of itself. And that's a fucking issue. A good company, good businessmen, they're always 10 steps ahead of the game. I already went over Lacey Evans and Natty. There's a 20-man battle royal for the United States Championship. All participants have not been named. Some might be pulling double duty. I expect most to just be all the fucking, I was going to say mid-carders, but the ones that can't even get on the card. But the winner of this will then go into another match later in the night with AJ Styles for the United States Championship. So the 20-man battle royal actually has some value. Still makes no fucking difference to me because I don't care. But at least it's a little better than something stupid like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And I love Andre the Giant. I hate the fucking concept on the pre-show of WrestleMania. At least this is for a championship opportunity that night. And then you go into Mansoor versus Cesaro. Mansoor, just because they're in Saudi Arabia. The same guy who won last year's, what was it, a 40 or 50 man battle royal, and Mansoor ends up winning this thing. And I was like, come on, bro. Every time you're in a city or a fucking town, you don't gotta make that guy win. You can make him have a dynamite showing, but you don't have to have him win. So many other guys could have used that victory. So they had Mansoor win it. And then you didn't see Mansoor for a full fucking year until they're back in Saudi Arabia. Now he'll be taking on Cesaro, and I wouldn't doubt that Cesaro loses this match. Somebody like fucking Cesaro jobbing to Mansoor. And of course, we end it with Tag Team Turmoil. This is where I will literally be putting my dome piece through every cement wall in New York City. This is a multi-tag team schmaz match. It's being deemed as the largest tag team turmoil match in history. Well, that's not a good thing, Vince. The participants will be The New Day, the Viking Raider Warrior Experience Adventure Time Machine, Heavy Machinery, Lucha Underground House Party, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, The Revival, The OC, the Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode Connection, the B-Team, Luigi Lugnuts and Billy Buttfuck McGee, Danny Dipshit Dugenheimer and Fuckwad Fred, Benny Ballsack Bandito and B motherfucking C Amplified. Who else wants to tag team join in on this thing? Fuck it! Everybody's invited for a nonsensical, useless bullshit turmoil match. Just so we can get everybody into this event, just like the Battle Royal. Screams like fun to me. Anyway, that's Crown Jewel. That was a little amplified preview. Fucking A, man. Wow, huh? I swear, I only had 3 coffees so far. We got a little amplified there. I'm not totally, I'm not shitting on the... How do I say this? It's a Crown Jewel card. They throw so much into it. There is some intrigue, only in the fact that I want to see how they actually conduct themselves. I want to see what they really do with The Fiend and Rollins now. Can they go lower than they already did at Hell in a Cell? Something tells me they can, knowing this company. I want to see what they really do with Brock and Cain Velasquez. I want to see what they do with Braun and Tyson. That might be all that I want to see. I mean, who is AJ Styles gonna go against with the United States Championship? I would like to see the ladies in there for the first time ever. So there's things that I will be intrigued with. I just don't know if it's all for the right reasons. You know, this is a Crown Jewel match. This is something you would see over in Saudi Arabia as just a giant house show. But they bill it as WrestleMania-esque and they throw it on the network. So, man, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's another... I just wish that all of this time and focus and energy was going towards Survivor Series. Because, guys, Survivor Series is in a few weeks. And you wouldn't even know it because they haven't even discussed it. It's all been about Crown Jewel. When this is over, we're only going to have a few weeks before Survivor Series. Just to see a bunch of more matches just like we're seeing tomorrow. Team Hogan versus Team Flair. And that's what I don't like. This is stealing a lot of thunder for that, and I just don't think there's real validity behind it. Real reasoning. Other than the fact that Vince McMahon got paid a shit ton of money. So you're damn right he's going to treat this like WrestleMania. I just see a lot of schmazzery, and I'm going to reserve any excitement toward this until we're all done with it. If they put on a dynamite show and I'm like, wow, that was good, you're going to hear about it in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly tomorrow. Tomorrow evening or tomorrow night. Because you damn well better bet we are going to have a Good, the Bad, and the Ugly tomorrow on this. So I know that's probably more exciting news than anything you just heard in this video with Crown Jewel. But, and if they put together a shit show, you're going to hear about that in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly review tomorrow night that I put on. You're going to hear my honest, blunt truth as I always give it to you. But yes, the good news, guys, is that tomorrow is a double video day here on the channel. I hope to have as early as possible the AEW Dynamite and NXT review. I'm going to put them together in one review, as I like to do, because it's not even necessarily just putting the two together head to head and comparing them. It's not necessarily just about that. I like to put it all in one review and really dissect what show has so much positive shit going for them and what show is lacking in what different areas. I like to have it all under one review so we can see this all together. I love that shit. I don't want to keep them separate, and I won't. So tomorrow morning, I will have both of those reviews, AEW, NXT in one, and then later on in the evening, catch the good, the bad, and the ugly review of Crown Jewel, where we are going to get just as amplified as the preview, and then some. For now, you guys kick the rest of this Wednesday's ass. I'll see you for the double video Thursday, just tomorrow. Be amplified, man. It's re-up time on the Starbucks. For now, get them out there, baby. Get it out there. Check you later.